Welcome to the Civic Sounds, a podcast by the American Corner Moi. Enjoy great conversations. Welcome to the Civic Sounds, a podcast by American Corner Moi, a platform on which we get to talk about real societal issues, things that we believe that are of real importance on creating awareness on, and things that we need our young people especially to have information over. We are talking about employability of our young people. We are talking about leadership and governance. And as you know, our young people are currently being encouraged to take up the leadership positions. We are talking about economic empowerment of our young people. What does the what does the future look like for our generation? So that is why we are called Civic Sounds, because it is only and mainly for awareness purposes. So having said that, today I would like to talk about something very interesting, something so close to my heart, and something of great concern, especially in our leadership and governance space. And just speaking of the same, was it yesterday or the other day when BBC released a documentary about the protest by the Gen Zs in Kenya in the year 2024, June 25th? I've been looking at this WhatsApp statuses, social media, X, all these social media platforms, and people are really sharing those links or the link to that documentary. And that tells you that this is something that people are really interested in, and more so the young people who feel that they were the main victims or casualties of that demonstrations and the aftermaths. But then, even as we look to hold the governments of the day accountable as young people, there is something of importance that we need to put into consideration. That in an era of technological advancement, in an era of AI and machine learning, we are very culpable of fake news or fake information. And we are culpable because sometimes I've seen people share information online, something that they haven't even verified, something that they can't even tell you the source where they got it from, but them they go ahead to share it. I'd like to talk to you about that. I remember I went through fake news verification training some years back. I think it was in the year 2018. We were being trained on how to verify fake news, how to justify that this is the real information. And even in school, I was taught, the course that I was doing, I was taught on how to verify and even justify the information that you're about to share. So why are we culpable? Number one is because we are over-dependent on social media. We rely a lot on social media, especially the digital media, for information. And from my own analysis or research, I've been talking to people around, and they are telling me, oh, I stopped watching TV. Nowadays, I just get news on X or Twitter. Nowadays, I just go to TikTok and I'll get to know what is trending. Nowadays, I just go to Instagram and I'll know what is trending. So that tells you that we are over-reliant as a generation on social media for information. So the moment these people who share fake information, the moment they know where we are as users, they will always wait for us there. You understand? So again, my clarion call is verification and justification of information. You know? So sometimes when you share fake information, you are likely to lose the trust of people. Because believe me, even myself, by the there are those specific individuals or accounts. Whenever I go to X, if I get information out there about something and it has not been posted or shared by those specific accounts, I won't believe it. Why? Because these people have earned my trust, you know. So the moment you keep sharing fake information, you know, people will say that you're not trustworthy, and they will no longer want to, they'll no longer want to interact with your content on the social platforms. So would you want to lose would you want to lose credibility for not sharing for not verifying or justifying information? You know, the other thing about, or the other impact of fake information or fake news is that it can lead to manipulation, you know. And I've seen some top politicians here in Kenya, the likes of Mike Sonko, and I think Mike Sonko is the one I've always heard talk about this. Talking about fraudsters who are using his name to manipulate people or even to con people, you know. So this is something that is very, very, when somebody creates an account and calls himself Mike Sonko, if I don't maybe verify that that is the real account for Mike Sonko, I'll just believe the information that is the content or information that has been shared by that particular account, you know. So sometimes it's good for you to verify and to justify. So for example, how do I verify that this is the real account for Mike Sonko? So we all know that Mike Sonko is a politician with a huge following, you know. So therefore, if I go there and then look at the following, and the following is not as much as Mike Sonko is supposed to have, then that is the first red flag, that could not be the real account. Sometimes in some cases you look at the language that has been used to type this information, you know. Or if it's a document, you can even look at things like the stamp, the signature. Is it legit, you know? So those are some of the things that you can always check to see if that thing is, or that account or that information that you're about to share is genuine or not. The other thing is when you share this information, let's assume today you go online and share about a death or a fake death of someone, you can be sued, you know. So if you're sued, by the way, it will be upon you. You won't say, oh, I got this information from this and that account. No. It will be, why did you share the information? And as I always tell people, and as is always prescribed, is that ignorance is a criminal offense, and you can be charged in a court of law for ignorance. Like, you're not allowed to say, I didn't know. You're supposed to know. All right? So the other thing is we all have laws that governs our different or our various countries. And particularly in Kenya, we all know that we have the Cyber Security Act. I mean, the Cyber Crime Act, I think that is the name, 2022. And with that, you can actually be sued for defamation. So let's assume you share false information about Cavin, you know. So if you share false information about myself, then I decide to go for you or take a legal action against you, I can sue you for legal defamation. All right? I think it's only that people are not always keen on following up on these things, because maybe it's not worth their time and all that. But if you get an idle person and they decide that now I want to take you for a physical education or PE, be rest assured that these people will sue you. The other thing is that fake information can actually cause public disorder. You know, the moment people hear, about something, and then they start reacting to it. And we are talking about a generation that is online. This is a digital generation. This is an internet generation. I share information online, and in the next 2 minutes, it's all over. In the next 1 hour, it's all over. So people will be like, who said this? And even the authorities will be interested to get to know where is the origin, or what is the origin of this information. And believe me, if you're the origin of that fake information, they will come for you, because they will not allow you to cause incitement. I've talked about cybersecurity legislation. They will take action against you for either cyberbullying. Maybe you're talking about something, how I look like, or how somebody looks like. They can they can take action against you for that. All right. The other thing is, it could be out of maybe copyright infringement. Before you take information and share it online, did you confirm whether it has copyrights or not? And we've had people having to copyright some of their content, be it an image, be it maybe a book or a document. They go and take copyrights for it, so that if you use it without their consent, they will sue you, because you are infringing their copyrights. All right. So this session, I just wanted to have a brief session with you, with our audience, because it is good for information. It is good for us to know that before I take an information and share it online or share it anywhere, it is always good that I verify and justify that it is genuine and it is true. That is why sometimes I tell people that I sometimes take time to share something until I verify and until I'm able to justify that this is indeed true. So how do I do that? You go to X, you see who else is posting about this information. How credible are they as a source of information? So that is very, very important. I have seen a lot of images of people, people trying to, to release images of politicians, maybe in coffins. Maybe you're posting a naked image of someone, it is okay. You are within your rights. But what I mean is, make sure that you are able to take responsibility for whatever it is that you're trying to share or post on social media. Then the other thing that I should not forget to mention is that the internet never forgets. Those dirty images that you're sharing or you're sending on social media, they will always remain there. And sometimes it might not be people suing you for those images or suing you for the content that you posted. it could be the content is working against you. You're a young person, you're a young man looking for a job opportunity. But if I go online to look at your background, to look at your history, the things I find about your relating to your name are not pleasant things. So you see, it is going to cost you the job opportunity or maybe the business opportunity. So what I'm saying is, I am not saying we stop criticizing. I am not saying we stop calling out. I am not saying we stop holding accountable. I am saying we be responsible and we do it in the right manner. Let us use the right content to pass our messages. You know, we do not want to bring up a generation that has painted or tainted its image, you know. So even personally, by the way, I go to forums where I call for accountability, whether by the government or whoever. But if you hear me, or if you listen to me, or even other people who are responsible enough, if you listen to them talk about these issues, they do it in a responsible manner. Now, humanly speaking, let's assume, and I've seen these images, sometimes you take maybe the image of a leader, then you put it into a coffin. And this is just a by the way, you put it into a coffin. Don't you think that these people also have their loved ones? They have their family members. That even if the leader himself or herself fails to sue you, the family members can actually seek their blessings and sue you on their behalf. Because these leaders mean to their children, mean to their wives, to their husbands, to their relatives, what your parents, your siblings, and your relatives mean to you. All right? So, as I said, allow me to repeat that even as we criticize, even as we call everyone to accountability, you know, let us do it responsibly, in a manner that pleases our values, in a manner that pleases our laws, and in a manner that pleases our personality. All right? That was just a clarion call and just a brief reminder to our young people, because sometimes justice or the rule of law might be very, very expensive when it is applied to you. And maybe it could be just out of lack of information or lack of awareness. So mine was just a clarion call, but I'm not saying that we stop criticizing. I am not saying that we stop holding people accountable. What I'm saying is, let us do it in the right manner. Let us use the right language. Let us use the right content, and let it be content that we are able to verify and to justify that indeed this is the truth. You know? So allow me to stop it at that. I will see you in the next episode. My name is Cavin Apodo. Thank you so much.